good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across this beautiful blue-green globe of ours. Welcome to Real News Live. I'm your host, Mike Barra in Las Vegas, Nevada, joined on this Monday morning news and Jentel show, as I always am, by my co-host, the lovely lady with the lustrous hair, Jennifer Faladorian in Hayden, Idaho. Jen, how was your weekend?
Fine. Today is better.
Today is better, yeah. Busy day today. Lots of things to talk about. I'm sure you guys have heard of the things. I just want to say to everybody, sorry I couldn't make the Friday show. But Brooks did back out because he had a wedding. He was in a wedding. He's a groomsman. But that was not the reason why Blake and I were going to go. But I got a big migraine, which I do occasionally get. And I just couldn't do it. I had a headache. I felt terrible. And I went to bed. So sorry about Friday's show, but Blake and Brooks, hopefully, and I will all be back on Friday. Or actually, Jen, hopefully I won't be back on Friday because hopefully I will be under an NDA. But if that doesn't happen, you know, it's funny. Dave has this machine, which is supposed to help with your mood. And it's like an electrical stimulator for your brain. And you attach these electrodes to like your temples. And I started using it, I don't know, a year ago because I was getting a lot of migraines to try to hopefully stop the migraines. I wanted this to work, and it worked pretty well. But then it broke. It got broken. We had to get replacement parts, and that took like 4 or 5 weeks to get in the mail. First one replacement part, and then we needed another one. And I started using it again last week, and within the first week, I got 2 migraines. So guess what? I'm never using it again. So, you know, it's funny because I started using it to avoid the migraines.
Yes, the machine makes people happy, and then the machine breaks. I could just imagine the complaint line.
Yeah, well, you know, but it's supposed to help your mood, and it definitely helps Dave's mood, but it doesn't. I don't know that it ever helps my mood, but it just didn't work out, and I feel bad. But I haven't had one since I've stopped using the machine on Friday or Thursday. So let's go from there. Okay, guys, there was a lot of stuff happening. Actually, let's take a look, Jen. Let's go to the chat real quick and say hi to everybody.
Hello.
And see who's here. Stephen Leister is here. Christine Packer is here. Mike Mick is here. Ron Davidoff is here. Good morning, Jasara lovers. And, you know, screw Jasara. I'm worried about Nessar. I'm worried about our country. Nobody else. I hear Beast Sting on Mondays. Yeah, you saw that. I saw that post, huh? Sting.
I have something to say about that.
Well, okay. Well, we'll save that then for Jen. Sissy is here. Hi, Sissy. 3 of 9. Sissy, 3 of 9. Interesting. Okay. 9 kids? What? Sandy Maynard's here. Laura Yoder's here. I think we already did Christine Packer. JDK is here. Nancy Panzarella is here. Jordan. Hi, Jordan. You're not Jordan Sather, are you? Because if you are with your pointy little nipples, I'm going to kick you out of here. By the way, speaking of people I've given a hard time to, Batman is here. By the way, speaking of people I've given a hard time to, apparently David Wilcox said something very praiseworthy of me the other day. So thank you, David. And I know I tease you a little bit, but I hope and believe that David is one of the good guys. So
I want to meet David Wilcox. I want to sit down.
I think I can arrange that. With him. Because if this thing all happens, then I'm going to be putting on conferences and shows, and you're going to be at the Las Vegas conference.
Well, I just think that he and I could have such long, amazing conversations. He's so interesting. He knows so much.
Okay. Tiffany Hayes is here. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Michelle Noyes. Caviar Dreams is here. You know, Jen, I was kind of pleased that Nicole from Australia was back in on Friday, a couple weeks ago on Friday in the stream. I hadn't seen her or talked to her in a long time. Joanne Patton's here. Hi, Joanne. And then I went back and I was looking through pictures I'd taken of things Dean Ryan was saying about me back when I first split away from him when she was there. Oh, thank you for sharing this, Dean. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. You can just
that's
back to Australia.
What would ever happen to him?
I don't know. Good question. I don't think anybody knows. I suppose he still does stuff, but he has no information. So
yeah, he left right when I came in. I think he was there for one show and then he was gone.
Yeah,
and I didn't know what was going on. There was a big
there was a big thing, but I don't know, behind the scenes. And he's crazy. So needs help. All right. And hi, Glenn's here, and I am blessed. Okay, great. Thank you guys for all being here. We appreciate it. All right. Phil did a live yesterday, and I know that Phil is controversial and he upsets people, and yet Phil occasionally does have access to information. Now, completely separate from that, on the Baratel end of things, I got some Baratel. I don't know whether we should share too much about the Baratel, except to say that the meme I posted in the Telegram channel, and it's also the meme that's the picture for this live stream on YouTube, means something. Means something. And essentially what it said is, we have come to the end, is what it's saying. I thought that was very interesting in the context of what Phil said yesterday on his show. So let's go to that, Jen, and listen to what Phil had to say.
Remember, what happened today publicly with Citizens Bank, but even more so behind the scenes, has been the most significant event that I have seen happen behind the scenes in the last year or two. The finalization of Nacera. Something that we've all been waiting for what now? 13 years? 12 years? The finalization of Nacera has happened today. The reevaluation of currency of all countries worldwide has happened today, November 5th, 2023. It is done. It is done. It is over. Reevaluation has happened, and what you are about to see over the next several weeks is bank failure after bank failure after bank failure after bank failure. It is going to be a landslide of banks face first in the dirt, finagle, kaput.
Okay, so that's good news if it's true. And by the way, it's revaluation, Phil, not re-evaluation. It's revaluation of the currencies. It's very interesting stuff. It is in line with what other people are saying. Texas Snake has said this week. Now, Phil could have just circle-told this. He could have just read other people's pages and said, hey, it's happening this week. But I did find it interesting that we had the Sting message, and then we had Phil saying that the 5th of November is, hang on, I'm getting to you. That the 5th of November is very important. And then he's pointing out that the banks are failing. So I assume what that means is that the bank failures are going to be part of the visible collapse of the fiat currency system, which is a cover, of course, for everything that's going to happen financially. And then, of course, the financial stuff is going to lead to the political stuff. Now, the other thing I think is real interesting, Jen, and I'm just going to hold Jen off just for a second here, is they're now openly talking about in the conventional media, they're openly talking about the removal of Joe Biden as a candidate. And if you go into Twitter and you type Trump polls, you get these latest. He's up by 50 points in the Republican primary. In the interactive polls, the swing states, he's up in Georgia, North Carolina, Arizona, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, all the states that he actually won. Wisconsin, they're saying Biden's ahead. That's bullshit. But that Trump is going to beat him. And the thing is, Jen, is that they would not, hang on, I'm going to share it. They would not, in the mainstream media, they would not actually say this or allow this to come out, because They had polls. They knew in the polls last year that Trump was crushing Biden. They knew, but they kept putting out all these fake polls. So why wouldn't they just put out fake polls now? Well, these polls are being put out in public for a reason. And the reason is that they need an excuse to get rid of Joe Biden. And the question is, what we all want is we want his removal from office and replacement by an interim president and new elections. That's what we want. But he could also be removed as a candidate for the presidency, either as a first step or as the way he is removed. And we do have information from a source that the removal of Joe Biden in one way or another, leaving the stage, is imminent. And a lot of people are saying this week by Friday. So that's all the ground truth intel that we have. Now we get to go to the heavens and get Jen's information. So I hope I didn't spoil anything there, Jen, because I have not read the Jentel. I try to make it a point not to on Mondays. So I'm just going to let Jen go and tell you what's really going on as soon as I get your Jentel banner up here. There we go.
Okay, first off, I've always said that yes, Phil is an entrepreneur. And yes, the dude wants to retire, make as much as he can, and retire wealthy and have a nice life. And I believe that he deserves that. And it's none of my business what he does. But I've always told you that he has a legitimate inside contact. And that contact is of high clearance. Okay? Now, I know somebody who knows somebody close to him who is working within this operation deep. I don't hear from this person very often. He usually receives information like a family member would, who was involved in the military, like, hey, heads up, and it's very cryptic, okay? Saturday, I received some information. And it was, you had to really read the entire paragraph. It sounded like something silly, but there were capitalized words in there, and the capitalized words were, the sting is complete. Now, I did speak with Mike about this, and I said, you know what? I just had a feeling. I said, let's wait before we say anything, which, you know, we could have been first to say it. Who cares? But
of course I didn't do, but
he doesn't listen. This is why we don't tell him everything. So, and you know, when someone tells me something, I don't usually share it. And if I do, it's very general. Okay. Now I had that information on Saturday. I said, let's wait and see what happens tomorrow. And then Phil does a live. Did not catch the very first of Phil's live. I caught it in the middle because I didn't know he was going to do a live and I was busy. And he kept saying the word sting. Okay.
Yeah, he did. And you can just scroll to the first 35 minutes and that's where the good stuff is, folks.
Okay. So he kept saying the word sting. Listen, if this was a message that went out from military to contacts or family from a certain clearance level, this is a private message that I received from a private individual. And Phil came out and said the same damn thing. It's not something that we saw on the internet. It's not something we saw on the channels. Somebody told him the same thing. He has a legitimate contact. I don't want to hear any more about it. All right. Now, when he said 13 years, he was referring to the RV. People have not been waiting 13 years for NESARA. They've been waiting over 20 years for NESARA since 9/11. They've been waiting 13 years for the RV. Now, when he discusses something, he's going to use it. He's an entrepreneur. He's going to turn it around and use it to his advantage, and that's okay. You know, people can do that. And he's going to talk about NESARA JSARA because of his silver interests, and that's what he's interested in. And so he's going to focus more on that more than a currency revaluation, okay? But he did say, well, the way he said it kind of scared us all just for a second there. They know that it's done and everything's been revalued and all this stuff. I do believe everybody's got their rates. That's what I think. So yeah, he may come out and he's got a whole bunch of stuff going on right now because he's an entrepreneur, and you know what? He's worked his ass off and he deserves it. And if he gets rich and he retires and he has a wonderful life, good. I wish him the best, and it's none of my business. Just like my finances or Mike's finances or your finances are none of anybody else's business. It's not fooling people. This is why, and I have known from all along, this is why I listen. And if he's doing something that I don't have any interest in, I just listen until I hear something that I believe is intel. And he definitely has that. So, Jentel for today. Jentel, 11/6/23, interdimensional meditation with Archangel Michael and Gabriel, 6th level of heaven. I met them in front of my tree in the field. It's easiest. What this looks like is I'm standing in a big green field, little river going by, big tree behind me. I see Michael and Gabriel walking towards me. And the first thing he says to me, this week is explosive. I'm like, And, I started asking questions. So what we have is bullet point information here. He says notifications will come through mail. So not giving me a time period and when they come, but we will get some kind of notifications in the email.
So you think is it email or is it paper mail? Because paper mail to a certain extent would make some sense. Just checking on that one. What do you think?
He said mail.
He said mail. Yeah.
So either way, but it makes more sense the problem with email is that people will disregard emails. Things go to spam. Sometimes not everybody checks their emails unless it's something that you work with. But if it does come in the mail to your house, then you would, but, so either way, you will be notified.
Yeah, it's interesting in this sense. It made me think of when you described the birthright payment, right? Which I have a specific number, which is probably a little higher than that now because I've now got a mortgage, where they pay you back the money you've been defrauded out of. That I always felt like, and we talked, would be a courier coming to your door with like a certified letter or something you had to sign for, and it's a paper check, and here you go, Mr. Barra. And it could be, Jen, that those get paid out because other people have been saying Social Security payments are going to go up this month and yada, yada. But I mean, it could be something like that. It really could be. It could be an actual physical thing. And then, and by the way, here's the number you call for your possible that it is mail. We'll ask him that.
Okay. Doubt it. That really has to do with the trust. And I always got when we hear about the trust, you have to go and sit down with somebody, set up. This is something that you're going to manage for the rest of your life. And then your, ancestors, descendants, your children, your people after you, instead of brain fart, will manage their own accounts, and will eventually become your Social Security. And Social Security will run alongside that for a while. But I believe this is so I really do think it would be the same as the RV, where you set up your account or gain access to your treasury account or whatever for that. So I don't think somebody's just going to come and give you a check. You have to go and sit down and learn how to manage and have access to your account, whatever's in there. And then you decide what you get, what you want in there and all that. That's why I don't think that's happening. All right. Notifications will come through the mail. Bullet point, another bullet. He said, increased tensions in the Middle East. We'll see this week. Okay. Planned removal of Biden is for the 11th. Nassara announcement is planned possibly after that, possibly the 12th. If it doesn't happen, I was wrong. So no problem with that now. We're used to that. Pretty thick skin. And I asked, is the info I received about the sting operation or the sting is complete true? He said, worldwide, yes. Final operations in the USA need to take place. I'm assuming Biden and the political. Okay. I asked this because there's a lot of misinformation going around. A lot of people message me panicked, asking me the same questions all the time. Are they going to scan me at the redemption? And what if my vibration isn't high enough? Okay, listen. I don't give a crap what they do. Listen, we were laughing about it, me and my daughter. She's like, what are you going to do if they ask you to put on a mask when you go to the RV? I'm like, if they ask me to put on a full body condom, I'll do it. Okay. If I walk in and it's aliens and they say, we're sorry, you're going to have to strip down and get into this clear glass compartment in front of everybody, and we're going to take detailed pictures of your entire body to prove your identity, I'll be like duck lips and arching my back saying, pass it around at the Christmas party, boys. I don't care at this point. I will do it. Okay. So I asked, what are we really going to have? Mike's over there in the corner. Where's the anal probe? Where's the line for the anal probe? At this point, when I actually get to the RV, I don't give a crap what they want me to do. Fingerprints, whatever. There you go.
Well, Mark, somebody I know has actually been through the process, and it does not involve any of that as a trainer.
I know. So that I asked about that.
Thank you for the visual, Jen. We needed that desperately. Thanks for the visuals.
I'd be like, yeah, hey, put it on the internet. I really don't even care at this point. So what will we have to do to prove identity at redemption centers? You see, you need one scannable ID. So when you go and try to buy beer, cigarettes, whatever, they scan your ID at the liquor store or whatever. Boom, scanned. Legitimate ID. Proof of residence. So that anything that's sent to you in the mail is accurate. You will confirm that you live there, prove it. There you go. A fingerprint for the Treasury account. That's it. So I assume when they start up this Treasury account, well, let's put your fingerprint, let's put it on there so that, another way to identify yourself if something else fails. So that's basically it. It's not a big deal. Okay. Nobody's going to scan your freaking vibration. Vibrations rise and fall like blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Somebody could be going through the loss of a loved one and your vibration can fall very slow. That's why sometimes when people will get sick when they get depressed or angry or go through grief or something like that. So that's ridiculous. Anybody that knows about vibration. I mean, yeah, they could scan people for a certain level, but listen, it's very simple. You hold this, you are, in possession of these things. You're going in to change it into something else. Who are you? How do we know how to contact you? That's it. Okay. And so I said, so this is all happening now. And I asked him, so this is all happening now. And he said, the pressure is off from the dark side and we can proceed. He said at the very end, it will appear as though everything is about to go boom. Now, this is a little concerning for me. Started out the conversation with this week is explosive. Everything's about to go boom. Doesn't mean, I said, so like what? The world's going to blow up and there's, that's makes no sense. He's like, no. It will appear as though everything will go boom. Now, I also get a sense that everything's just going to start snowballing with. So, and if we've really taken notice about how the white hats set things up to pull somebody out or to get someone, It's not just one thing. It comes in from all directions, and this person can't go anywhere. That's probably what's going to happen to Biden. Everything at once. We got we're hearing about it all from all directions. We're hearing about the election, the corruption, the bribes, the money. We got the war scenario. They're not going to give it any chance of failure, and set it up so that everything comes in at this guy and his administration, and there's nowhere to go. There's no shadows to hide in. So I'm excited. I just think it's interesting that the information that I've received privately, not just from the angels, came out at a time, and then everybody else is starting to say the same thing, and it wasn't on the internet. This is private conversations, okay? The word went out. The word went out. They've saved Israel for last. We knew we were at the end game here. I think it's all about the snowball, and I think that confirmation that Phil has legitimate contacts, like I said all the time, but nobody listens to Mama. The sting is complete. Him using the word the sting. He put the RV in there. 13 years. Anybody who has been waiting for a very long time knows that 13 years refers to the RV. Does not refer to Nasara Jasara. So that's all I have.
Yeah. June 30th, 2011 is when it was supposed to happen. But that would have only been a revaluation of the Iraqi dinar, and it would have been cabal, and they would have refinanced their system for another.
But since that time, people have been accumulating foreign currencies, and
Yes.
they've been waiting. And if you ask anybody, a lot of people, and I talk to a lot of people privately for what I do, they've been waiting 13 years.
And there are there are people who've been waiting even longer.
But Nasara, as the story goes, is 9/11 stopped it. So that's not 13 years.
It was a long-term plan that actually went back to President Reagan and Francois Mitterrand, the president of France. The so-called Reagan-Mitterrand protocols in the 1980s is where that actually started. And it's now coming to fruition. It's finally happening. And, okay, couple of things. Do not discount the explosive thing. Okay, I think that's a significant message. I think things could get potentially very scary looking this week. So,
and he said it would appear as though everything's about to go boom. So,
remember, World War III is only on your screens.
Right. And I thought of the tweets that we've been waiting for. My fellow Americans, the storm is upon us. Okay. And when I thought about that, that post, could it be about a storm, or could it just be someone who tweets that as a sign, during a time when they had a storm, but it's a signpost, like a time. So we'll know, okay, it's about to all go down. So we'll see if we get that. But it popped into my head today. Might want to take a look at that one.
Okay. Another thing I'd like to remind everybody is that it's Monday, and we changed the time on Saturday. And it is well known that on the Monday and the week after we change from daylight savings time to standard time, or the other way around, car accidents and physical accidents go way up. So if you're going to drive, especially today, be careful, because your body is a little bit out of sync, and it's not in sync with the environment around you. Everything's happening an hour later. So be careful, take care. I think today, after the show's over, I'm going to look at all my bills. I'm going to leave enough money in my bank account to pay all those bills. And I am going to go physically remove the rest of it and have it in cash just in case I need it. Phil said that yesterday. I don't know that I'm 100% behind that, but I'm going to be careful. That's what I'm going to do. So I think that's pretty interesting stuff. This is pretty much, the most exciting confluence of information we've seen in a long time. Now, I haven't heard from TNT Tony today. I haven't listened to Mark today. I don't know what they're getting. I don't know what Batman's getting. I do know some people. What's that?
Nothing.
Friday, yeah. I do get some people who might know some people who are saying some interesting things. And then some of my other banking contacts have gone quiet. So this is pretty interesting. It's going to be a very, very interesting week. So, all right. And again, try to sit back and let it happen. Don't be too.
Ow. Go. Sorry. Charlie's in here.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what the hell was going on there. Okay, how many people? Wow, we have over 800 people, almost 900 people in the stream. So we're growing a little bit. I appreciate that. Remember, these live streams get taken down off of YouTube almost as soon as they are complete. They do not linger because YouTube will censor the channels and take them down on Mike Barrett 2, Mike Barrett 3, Mike Barrett 333. So we take them off YouTube. They only exist on Rumble, or you can find them if you go directly to mikebara.blogspot.com and check them out. And everything is there on mikebara.blogspot.com, all the latest shows, everything that we do, links to my books, links to any other articles and things that are interesting or kind of in the same realm here. And also, Mike Barra talking about ancient aliens and JFK at the New Living Expo in 2018. So always go there to mikebara.blogspot.com, or you can go directly to Rumble and you can actually see the show there. It's always going to be left on Rumble as long as that's a viable place. These people with these little red castles, well, they have subscribed for $5 a month to support the channel. This is something we do need until the RV happens. We're going to need this. So by all means, get down there, click on the little subscribe button, get a Rumble account, and subscribe for $5 a month to support the show. We would appreciate that very, very much. Jen and I, we haven't had a new subscriber in quite a while, Jen, like 2 weeks. So, or a week at least. So come on in there, get over to Rumble and subscribe for $5 a month. It's the best way.
$5.
$5. Also, please visit our wonderful sponsors, the CBD Gurus at thecbdgurus.com. Matt and Lucas, you can join their mailing list there. And you can also get all kinds of cool CBD products for your health. Slide over to the wholesale tab, go down to Mike B Wholesale, type in the discount code ALIEN, no S, no capital A, just Alien, ALIEN, and get this week's specials. You can get, for orders over $25, you get 2 million Bolivar. For orders over 100, you get 10 million Bolivar. And then you can pick up all kinds of great wholesale prices on all kinds of cool stuff. Ooh, there's some new, wardrobe stuff here. Lots of cool pajama bottoms and things like that to go along with the X-Freeze Pain Roll-On Gel, which is one of my recommendations, and pet treats and all sorts of other cool stuff that you can pick up at the CBDgurus.com. And there's actually a Mike B formal wear section where you can get lounge pants or pajamas with me and Mark Z's picture on them, along with aliens and UFOs for a simple price. All right. Simple price, one low price. All right, Jen, why don't you tell us what is happening over on JenniferFalah.com?
Well, you can go to JenniferFalah.com and get all kinds of good stuff. We have healings, I've got readings, I've got classes. Oh, and pretty soon, sometime this week, I'm still making up and deciding what I'm going to put out for the gift card season, the Christmas gift cards. And that will be out today or tomorrow, probably tomorrow. Right now, I've got a Telegram only special going on. It is for, and that will be ending as soon as I put up the gift cards. So I would get it now. Let me go back and look. What the heck? All right. It is for a medical intuitive reading for $69, which is $20 off the reading price. And then after I do the reading on the person, I do a free healing for them for whatever we find.
Wow, that's a great deal.
So this is really what I do with this is being able to look inside the body. It's a healer thing. It's kind of something I discovered after starting to do the healings, but it's my strongest gift. I can, with Jesus, it looks like Jesus standing there, and then an outline of the person from the top of the head down. I tell you everything I see is going on with your body, and it has been confirmed, and there is no way that I could do that alone. That is Jesus right there. And so if you would like one, I can make it a gift card for you to give to people you know. And people come to me to find the root of the problem and take that information back to the doctors so that they can get better help and figure it out. And that has been very successful. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a free healing on that individual on what we find. So that is available today, possibly tomorrow. Go to Philosophy on Telegram, FALLAWSOPHY, and do that. Go to jenniferflaw.com if you would like readings. And I will be putting out the post with the gift cards on Philosophy on Telegram soon. Now, everybody that did get a wave of emails this weekend, I have not been in there. I am not ignoring you. I usually takes me Monday and Tuesday to get through the weekend's emails. So I will be doing that as well. And that's all I know.
All right. That is what is going on over at jenniferflaw.com. So again, jenniferflaw.com, YouTube, Jennifer Flaw Dorian, Philosophy on Telegram to pick up all that cool stuff. Okay. We have a new segment that we're going to start today that I came up with that I thought I wanted to do. And last week, I guess it was Wednesday, I was like, hey, Jesus, while we got you on the line, you should come down here and hang out with me on Halloween in Vegas, and we'll walk around and you can heal people and shit, and you can freak everybody out because you'll really be Jesus. And he gave me an answer. Well, I couldn't do that, or I wouldn't be the best use of my time, and things wouldn't work out for me, and I'd be crucified again. So I'm not doing that. But
I got so much flack from that, but
I can't. Yeah, I don't blame you for that. But I got the idea that maybe we could do an Ask Jesus segment on the show, and you can. I'm going to start. I'm going to ask a question, and maybe what we'll do is we'll start a thing over on Rumble or Telegram where people will put in for us what would they like us to ask Jesus once or twice on the show. Maybe we'll probably do it again on Wednesday. So if Jen could get a hold of Jesus, I have a question. It's personal about me, and I may or may not explain it to you, but I'm just going to ask the question because Jesus will know what I'm talking about. So, are we ready?
Sure.
Do we have the big J on the line? Jesus?
Jesus is ever present. You love him, he
say
his name and he is there.
So Jesus. By the way, Dave Barra, if you could bring me a water, I would really appreciate it. I see Dave lurking in the background there. Bottle of water would be great. But yeah, see right there. There's Barkley. There's Barkley's butt. There's Barkley. He's all excited. Dave's getting his Uber Eats. I would like to know who the supervisor is.
For what? Be specific.
The one who's involved in my life. Who is he? What's his function? Is he a guide? Is he a guardian angel? Is he just who is he? Anything in general that you get about the supervisor, I would like to know.
You have 4 guides and angels.
It's not supposed to be painful, but okay. All right.
Well, there's a misunderstanding here.
Okay.
There is no one in control of your free will or your choices. They assist, they guide, they send answers telepathically, they move you out of the way if you're not supposed to die yet. So the answer is that you're the supervisor.
Okay. So does that imply, interestingly, the supervisor, just to tell you, I had a very vivid dream, 10 or 12 years ago. And I found myself in like a conference room. And I don't know if you've ever lived and worked in corporate America, but thank you. But it was, they have these these rooms that are kind of thin and they're long, but they go up the stairs. So there's tiers. So people are sitting in rows with chairs, and there's like an area down below where a guy gives a lecture or whatever. But I walk in and there's this table full of people around this table, and then up the tiers, there's a bunch of people there too. And then the meeting is about me. And something is decided that I need to go upstairs. So they take me up the stairs and over to the door, and I find myself in a room, and it's like a Las Vegas hotel room, but all the shades are drawn, all the curtains are drawn. And I see this older guy who reminds me of a Boeing supervisor. That's why I call him the supervisor. Pocket protector, pens, glasses, and he's talking to some other guys, and then something's decided, and he comes over and he sits down, and the table is like a round poker table with one of those poker lights, coming down. So it's dark in there. And he looks at me and he tells me the way some things are going to be. He tells me that something that I want is not going to happen. And I've been trying to figure out, who is this guy and who does he think he is? And I guess the question is he some part of me that's stopping myself from doing something that I wanted? I don't know. It's a good answer. It's an interesting answer from.
No.
So is he an external entity? He's like not part of me. Then he's somebody
like who was talking to you in the dream?
Yeah, the supervisor. Who is this guy that sat down and told me this is going to happen and this is not going to happen?
It was you. Okay. So, there are separations of self, just as every person having an experience on whatever dimension you want to think is a separation of self of God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who has free will, and whether they've stayed high vibrational or went the other direction, that's how it all started. Okay. And so anything divine does not interfere with your free will. We do have a half-written line that we are following, but along the way, you have choices the whole time. Now, there are separation of self to every separation of self. And within this incarnation, we've got, and science has recognized that we have the conscious and the subconscious, and I believe we also have a deeper layer of self that knows what we have planned. A dream is a created state that you step into and that others can also step into as well. And so if there were others guiding you there, that is possible and true. But the situation that they were talking about was not going to happen because of the free will of others. And it was a lesson that you cannot force something to happen and go against the free will of others. That is what the dark side does. So at that point in time, I think that you were very angry and going in a direction where you feel like everybody is taking everything from you and everything is happening to you, but that is not the case. And I know you don't like that, but it's true.
No, it was interesting. It was very interesting, and it was what happened was I was prevented from achieving certain goals I had in my life that would have led to that person probably making a different choice or possibly making a different choice. I was prevented from even getting to that point.
Well, let's ask if that's true.
Hmm?
Do you want to ask if that's true?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, some exterior force kept me from achieving what I was supposed to achieve and what I was trying to achieve.
She wanted to go into a different direction. And you cannot force somebody.
I wasn't trying to force anybody, but that's an interesting answer. So
that was her free will.
All right.
Although not very divine at the time, that was her free will.
No, I'm fine with that. That's an answer. And thank you for listening, Jesus.
I know you're pissed, but I don't care. I mean, that's what you said. You asked.
It's not that. It's that I don't believe she was given free will, because I was not given what I was supposed to have. I was delayed for a long time. 13 years, actually. I was delayed, I think, to keep certain things from happening. But that's just
all right.
So let's move on.
Jesus is saying that's not true.
Okay, I know, and I've been told that repeatedly, and I still don't believe that it's not true. So moving on.
Let's ask other.
I mean, it's the kind of thing where I could go into an extensive conversation with Jesus.
I know. I don't know.
Have that offline, probably. So, and I mean, again, it's like one of these things where, oh, well, it's a blessing you didn't get what you wanted. Well, that's your opinion. Okay, that's fine. That's your opinion, folks. That's not mine necessarily. All right, there are, like I said, about 800 people here. So tell you what, Jen, let's go over to the Rumble side of the house and ask questions. One of the advantages of having a Little Red Castle being a $5 a month subscriber is that you get to ask your questions first of Jen when it comes time to do when we go to the phones and do the whole Art Bell West of the Rockies here on the air thing. So let's go over to the Rumble side of the house and I will read off the questions. Angels 964 is here. Earthman Jim is here. Tamara Pepper is here. I'm trying to look for questions. Oh, by the way, again, to remind everybody, we need your first name and the name of the person that you're asking about. So, Magnum Bike, Jen, was Phil's information on the SAR and the RV starting yesterday correct? She already said yes, that's what she got.
I really didn't ask that specific question. What I got from divine information and real world information is that he received word on something that I received word on at the same time. Okay. And he probably got more than I did.
Yeah, more insider. Yeah.
He knows something. Yeah.
Yeah, he knows something. Okay. Slippery Slope 9. Again, I don't know your Slippery Slope 9. I can't ask this question. I've got a question here, but we need your real name and the person you're asking about.
Jesus knows who it is.
Okay. All right. Slippery Slope 9. Hi, guys. Thanks for the show as always. My son-in-law and daughter purchased a house and are scheduled to go to settlement at the end of the month. Do you see any delays or problems with that process?
Yes, it's probably a 5 to 7 day delay.
Okay, which is not very bad at all.
Really feel like they need some other kind of information or something.
Remember the 5th of November? Yeah. Okay. Sarah would like to know, what is causing my excessive hair loss? Sarah is having excessive hair loss, and that's upsetting her.
Jesus is saying some kind of secretions. It says it has something is linked with the endocrine system. And we've also taken a look at the glands and the hormones. So we really want to go have both of those things tested out. Got some kind of imbalance going on there.
Some of all fears. Somebody says Leslie X. Let's hope not anything like that. I hope we don't have a nuclear event.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to come all this far and then everybody dies.
Yeah. Well, or just
it's not going to happen.
The world has survived nuclear weapons being detonated. Okay. I'm seeing Mama McGraw-Sam is seeing warnings about specific U.S. cities on Telegram. Okay. Take them seriously, I guess. All right. T. Regenhart. Okay, my mom gave me some Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscriber. My mom gave me some money to purchase some currency, and I purchased in my name, so I assume she will not get notified since it was not purchased in her name. Can she call the 800 number?
Well, she can
yes.
give you the 800 number.
Yeah, they can get you. You will probably be the one to get the 800 number, or you should get it for her and have her call it. And
it doesn't matter. The information. I assume that you will be notified in some way if you purchased or had any kind of interaction with any of the retailers or the groups. You will not miss it. Trust me, because at the point in time when the links or phone numbers go out, we're not under NDA, and if they can put it out to people, you can share it. You know, I could go open an email and say I got an email from Bed Bath and Beyond, and I'd like to share it with everybody. I'm not under NDA not to do that. Okay, right. Until you get into the appointment.
Oh, by the way, I know how Jesus knows who it is because she gave the names Raquel and Tyler Wilkinson going to settlement. So slippery slope. It's like that's how Jesus knew it was already in the chat. I just didn't get down there. Jen's reading our chat, or Jesus is reading our chat, Jen. Hi guys, I love you. Wally wants to know, when will he get his back paycheck from Social Security? It won't be a check, it'll be a direct deposit.
It's the beginning of December.
Okay. Chick Q said, when the chemtrails stop, the war has been won. We had heavy chemtrails yesterday after months of clear skies. What do you think, Jen? Good guys or cabal?
It doesn't have anything to do with anything.
Yeah. Tamara, hi, Mike and Jen. Does everyone have a guardian angel? If so, who is mine? Wow, that's a heavy question, Tamara.
Everyone has guardian angels and guides, and God will never leave you alone. Or you would not have survived past birth.
Yeah.
Who is this? Let's see. Let me just ask. He's saying a name, and it sounds like Ificent. And I immediately think Maleficent, and I'm like, that's not good.
Millicent or Vincent?
Something Ascent, something Ificent or something is the name. It's a female. Really an old world look to her, connected to you from a past life. She was a family member, not from this life. Been with you since birth, primary guide.
Okay, Joe would like to know, Little Red Castle, what is the significance of the pictures of the 4 archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, and one other one on the U.S. Debt Clock website yesterday?
I don't know, but whoever's doing that on the Debt Clock is awesome.
Yeah. It's
been very entertaining. I really enjoyed that one. If it's Phil, that's just freaking fun. If that was Phil, that would be cool.
That would be hilarious. Yeah.
Give it some kind of nod so we'll know.
Dave Murtos, Little Red Castle. Jen, will the birthright checks be coming soon? And also wants to know, how much longer will these Trump trials go on for?
So there's this whole rollout to NESARA, and I'm not really sure at what point we start, but that, like I said earlier, is really something that is like an account that you sit down and manage, like your 401k or whatever it is, that your retirement. So you have to go in, sit down. It's not just gonna, wow, look, birthright check in the mail. It's not gonna happen like that.
Yeah. Kitty Cat 52 says, I don't see how to, Barkley, isn't he cute? I don't see how to subscribe. I'm following, but no subscribe button. You're probably on your phone. Go to the web, and there is a subscribe button at the bottom.
The problem is that people will be on their phone and they will pick up the link from Telegram or another social media site. You have to get out of that. You got to go to Rumble itself and be on your account and click on our show. So, because I've done that too. Okay. If I'm watching Phil from his link on Telegram, I can't comment or do anything, and I have to close it out and go over to actual Rumble
separately.
And then I show up as a viewer, and then I can comment and I can do all that.
Petamy, P-E-T-A, Pet Amy, sorry. Pet Amy is now a monthly supporter. Little Red Castle, yay. Wait, come on, Amy. Spirit Guide is now a monthly supporter, yay. And Fraud Exposed M is now a monthly supporter. Thank you, guys. We appreciate that. And again, hopefully soon, Jen, hopefully this week, we won't have to care about any of this, and we can take that money and give it away to charity or something. Okay, AJ Bowden, Little Red Castle. Will my friend Samantha R. finally hear from the health department this week that she is approved for piercings in her new business so she can plan a grand opening? Wow, that's a complex question, AJ. Will Samantha R. hear from the health department this week about going forward with her business? Let's rephrase.
Are we still doing Ask Jesus questions? You want me to ask Jesus?
Well, you can ask, yeah, whoever's on the line, but yeah. I mean, I'm sure Jesus has time for us.
It's going to be a week or two.
But yes, so then the answer is yes. Joe,
yeah, it's in the works. It's in transit. I think that.
Okay.
Trying to figure out how you're notified, but it's coming.
Fraud Exposed M, first question. When am I going to take off the 60 pounds I stacked on this last 5 years? Debbie would like to know when she's going to drop some weight.
You were gradually going to work on it with a few blips during the holidays, and you're going to work on it till March. Jesus said that it will gradually come off. You're not going to be able to drop it like you used to. Okay. Like me, I used to decide, well, I'm going to drop 30 pounds in a month. Boom, gone.
Yeah.
You know, now it's like.
Yeah. Anyway. Barely get 10. Just remember, folks, too, once MedBed are implemented, and by the way, Sky, one of the leading MedBed people, basically was told, get ready, it's happening like right now. And they told her they told her that they're going to like live stream her entire process when she goes through the MedBed. She's going to be like, somebody important in that thing. So good. And so but that's also aligning for happening right now.
Don't you have to be naked?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
All right.
I want to know.
Awkward.
Yeah.
She's out. There's
Tracy would like to know if it will be okay for her to travel to Las Vegas November 10th to 14th, considering what's happening with the RV. Well, I hope so, Tracy. Traveling to Las Vegas.
Yeah, most of what's happening will just be heard. We'll be notified. I'm really getting a jump over to the other side of the United States about most of the activity being over there. Coastal regions, ports, things like that. Washington, D.C. and that immediate area. So, yeah.
Amy says, I recently had a surgery. Amy, who is Pet Amy, she's our new subscriber. She gets to ask a question first at the top. Amy, I recently had a surgery and still need one more to finish the process. Very hesitant on doing so as body's been through a lot. Do you see any issues moving forward in 3 months?
That's exactly what he was saying, is wait 3 months and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Layla gave us $5. Thank you for the Rumble rant, Layla. We love you too. You've been around for a long time. Connie Anderson. Hi, guys. Jen, do you see the schools closing for a bit when things start to happen?
There will be places where certain school districts will be told to stay home and stay indoors when needed.
Okay. Green Teakley is now a $5 monthly supporter. Thank you, Green Teakley, very much.
Thank you.
$5 supporter. Kelly would like to know, I keep seeing a single cardinal at my house. Is someone trying to tell me that they are around?
Father. Now, let me explain this whole bird and animal and butterfly and ladybug thing, okay? Your loved one is not morphing into an animal and coming to you. What they do is they're around, okay? And they influence a bird or animal who is very spiritually connected. They all are. to come over to like, so they attract the attention of something, and it comes over to you, and the bird stands there and stares at you. I've had a bird come and hit the window, fall down dead, picked it up, and come back to life or awaken in my hands and stand in my hands and stare at me. Okay, it's like, how do you ignore that? Anyway, so it's not your loved one who has become the bird. It is that they were standing there when you were thinking of them, or thinking that you were down or something, and sent you a sign, just like they drop coins in the house or whatever.
Okay. Lisa says, both my parents are passed, but I sense the presence of my mama, Audrey, very often when I'm alone. Is it really her?
Yes.
Spirit guide.
Why do I say yes? Well, because Jesus is saying yes. And I also just got this wave of this motherly love there in those moments. And so, yes, it is her.
Spirit guide, Little Red Castle says, Sky said black undies for the men. So apparently you'll have black underwear on. Mama, Mr. Okay, that was the last one. Oregon Farm Girl, $5 Rumble rant. Thank you, Oregon Farm Girl. We love you. Jen, will Tuesday the 7th be big booms having to do with London? And will it be the London Bridge or the King?
That's kind of interesting, considering the Jentel today with the first week's explosive, and then Jesus. Let's see. It's not London.
Okay. Lucy XOXO is now a monthly supporter. Little Red Castle, $5 a month. Thank you, Lucy.
Hey, you guys. Thanks. You
guys are really
Those Rumble ramps are pretty cool, too. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Okay. Tamara says, my husband David has been diagnosed with trigeminal neuralgia. It's very painful. What's causing it? Is it something in his diet he could change?
It has something to do with the liver. That's something we really need to do privately. I can take a deeper look at. The 2-second answer is not going to.
There are liver supplements that can help. Believe me, I'm aware of them. Tracy says, can you tell me what's causing my daughter Lindsay's blood disorder or possible autoimmune issue? She turned 18 on Friday, and we discovered this issue the past summer.
Okay, it is genetic or hereditary. Mm-hmm. What's going on with her? It's something that can be managed.
David Murtos asks another question. Jen, my son Ryan has been in a bad mood the last few days. Is he mad at me for something?
He's having a hard time. He's mad at everything.
Okay.
Somebody else pissed him off, and now he's mad at everyone.
Now he's mad at everyone. Okay. Ginger would like to know what's going on with her right knee. She's having pain.
Ginger. There's water on the knee because you have an obstruction of there, and it looks like a little bit of arthritis. It looks like the little crusty things right underneath the kneecap there. So I would have that looked at. You're gonna get inflammation later on in life. You're gonna have a little water there just with the rubbing. So yeah, take a look at it.
Annette would like to know, why was the smoke alarms going off at my son's house triggered because we were visiting, and by who? Interesting question. Little family drama there.
It was an unfortunate timing of the batteries going bad. Yeah.
Okay, so
change, it may not be a good idea to change all the batteries and the smoke alarms on the same day from the same pack.
Okay, so Debbie would like to ask another question. My neighbor Karen has cancer. It's aggressive. She's going through chemo, and it's kicking her butt. Is she going to beat it? I don't think Jen can really answer that.
It's not fair to ask that of me, for one.
Yeah.
So I do not answer that. Only God knows the day. But if she wants to, and that's not fair. I know that people get mad at that, but the soul has a decision to make, is what he said.
Okay, and Now we're slide back over here to the Rumble side or the YouTube side of the house. I agree with Jen's philosophy post. If they lost our money, everyone would freak out and react. Yeah, about the banks. Yeah. Greta, I'm taking my dog King to the vet today because he was peeing blood yesterday. Is it more than just his bladder stones causing that?
Yeah, there's an infection. Antibiotics.
Poor King. Jentel confirmed again. Love it. Yeah, that's the Pacific. Remember, Jen said military movement in the Pacific, and people were saying, "Oh my God, what's all these military planes in Hawaii?" So we got.
Oh yeah, I haven't even gone over the Jentel for Jentel confirms from last week. That's right.
We should make a list of those every day. We should make a list. Mike Mick says some RV gurus have indicated we should get a secure link email where we answer some personal questions and then you're directed to an email. Yeah, like those.
That sounds more legitimate, but it's going to be done in a way that will not be disregarded as spam or a scam. Okay, so however that is, you're notified in some way that will direct you to call somewhere. Probably go and put in your zip code, and then you get a number, and then that routes you or gives you a choice of a place to call to make an appointment of your choice near you. That's how I see it.
Okay. Nancy Penzarella, job interview November 7th. That's tomorrow. Will they offer me the job?
Yes.
And again, that's Layla. What's going on in Hawaii with all the military movements?
There's something underground surrounding the islands of Hawaii. Holy it looks like massive military bases underground surrounding the islands of Hawaii. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you is going on with that.
Oh, it's,
there's a little bit more going on with Hawaii than you think.
Yeah, essentially Hawaii's always just been a military base. That's why it has value to the United States.
I'll have to look into that later.
What do you think about Bill saying no election in 2024? I don't know that there's not going to be an election in 2024. I just don't think he just says he doesn't think it's going to be in the fall like it's scheduled to be. Like nothing's happened. So, yeah. Wolverine posted the Air Force and the Army are ready for the activation of martial law next Saturday. Damn, the Huskies are playing next Saturday. They're undefeated.
A public announcement of that? Maybe, but I feel like that's already been going on.
Yeah. Any thoughts on Icon 2020 on Rumble? Don't know that account.
I don't get into that, telling you if people are legitimate or not. You can figure that out. I don't bash people.
Sherry says, I woke up and lifted my head and I'm so dizzy I can't put my head back. Will this correct itself quickly? Thank you, Sherry.
Let me see.
Is it a sinus thing or an inner ear thing?
Well, it's two things. You've got a lot of tension in your neck. Your neck is out of place. It's pushing against nerves and everything else. It's making you dizzy. Your ears are really inflamed, and you've got a sinus infection brewing. So, yeah, you need to go in. Yeah, you got several things going on there.
Get to a chiropractor, too.
And check your sugar levels. If you haven't eaten, that sometimes he's saying really will produce this effect, and then you've got these other things going on. So, yeah.
Denise would like to know, my 6-year-old grandson, Jaden, has pneumonia. Will he be all right?
Okay. Yeah.
Is it possible that each galaxy has their own Jesus? Now, I think Jesus is pretty universal.
No. Look, not looking big enough. You're not looking a big enough picture.
Lisa Western, Jen, should I keep looking for a house in Buffalo, New York, stay in California, or not move at all? Well, she can't make that decision for you.
I can't they will not interfere with your free will or your decision processes, but if you were to come to me and say, what would happen if I moved to New York? Would I be happier in California? If I can ask where? No, let's make a decision. What he is saying is that the chances are that you go to Buffalo are more probable.
Hey, Michelle Noyes wants to know, is the Mandela effect really a thing? I remember certain things that used to be in certain places, and I'm looking and they're not there, and that's a lot of things. Is the Mandela effect an actual thing?
I really don't remember what the Mandela, but I'm just going to ask.
Where timelines change. Like Richard Dawson, who was on Hogan's Heroes and hosted Family Feud, died like 3 times. He died in like 1980 and like 1990 and 2003, and but they die, but then they're not dead. That kind of thing.
I don't think when it has to do with dying. That's something I've been learning a lot about doing all of these readings for people, is the problem, and then trying to predict world events. It's because what's so interesting is it's so much easier to accurately predict what one person will do in their lifetime than world events, where there are many, many different choices and timelines they can step onto. And so it's interesting, when I was shown a soul's journey throughout the different vibrational dimensions over the course of the lives, which is very interesting. It looked like a corded rope. It looked like a sea rope with all these different strands. And I was talking to Mike about this weekend, and it's really something that's very interesting to me. And it just seems as though, let's say you have like a 10-lane highway, 5 going each way. And on that highway, if you follow that highway, you will still end up in the same destination. Okay, golden path right in the middle. And relate that to your life's journey. But whatever lane you travel in on that highway will produce a different experience. You may be delayed a long time and sitting in the first lane, or you may sail right on through, or you may get stuck in a big traffic jam and you run over somebody's tire in the middle lane and all this stuff. So there is something to that. But I think once the physical body that you are traveling around with in this vibrational level of dimension has exited, it may not be possible to keep jumping timelines. I'm really not sure. I haven't learned enough about that, but I do think the topic is very interesting. And I guess, so what's the basic question here? Let me just ask Jesus. And I know you get frustrated with me, but I don't care. So what was the basic question there? Is it possible?
Is the Mandela effect really a thing? Do timelines change?
There are elements of it that are legitimate to that theory, but it is not a well-rounded, complete theory, he said.
Okay. Dave Barra wants to know if he's met his November girl that he was supposed to meet.
You did.
Because he had a pretty good date the other night.
So you did.
About it.
Be a good boy, Dave. Nothing. I said be a good boy, Dave.
No, he's not. Jen, hi. My daughter Candace, this is Jody, has just moved to Washington State. She has been in a hospital for 5 days, no jab. Will they figure out what's going on with her? Well, Jody's daughter Candace, will they figure out what's happening?
What's going on with her? Has something to do with lipids. There's some kind of imbalance going on. She needs blood tests. She needs all kinds of lipids. I'm talking about lipids. What is that? Isn't that oils? I mean, what is lipids?
Lipids, I don't know. Like an ingredient in different foods and things.
No, there's some kind of level in her body that's off. Okay, and it will lead to a diagnosis of something that she can manage and maintain. So it's kind of important that this is happening right now. I mean, it's just like if somebody finds out they have diabetes.
Yeah.
And so that they eat right and they're okay.
Okay, Thomas Klein, is Katie Hobbs still the actual governor of Arizona?
No.
Jody Gordon, what do you think about the watermark on ballots as being what they were talking about with the Q Drop Watch the Water? Phil talked about that yesterday.
I think that makes a lot of sense. I think it makes a lot of sense. And from the beginning, years ago, we were talking about that. And what I got, it was that they had a special kind of paper and they were going to put it out with the real ballots. And eventually they would know. And it wasn't, the whole watermark is actually certain chemicals that are in the paper that can be detected. And so now, years later, we're hearing that again. And I do believe the reveal is coming. But it may be just after the fact. It may be once he's out, then everybody's free to go ahead and... I don't know how that transpires. I feel like that has changed somehow over time.
Yes, Linda, it doesn't matter where you got it from. You will be aware of where to go for the redemption. I promise. Everybody will be aware. Jentel confirmed. Lori says, my son got a job offer where he interviewed.
Good.
Nanette says, I have a family flying on 11/19 to celebrate my 70th birthday. Does Jesus think all will go well with flights and world situations? I think, yeah, we're pretty okay on that.
I do think that people may have some delays for weather, so they may want to give themselves a little bit more time to get there, or you may not want to have the celebration too close to the time that they arrive. Might be some weather delays.
Okay. Laura Mills, Jen, yesterday I was cruising Pacific Coast Highway in Huntington Beach, California. We saw several Army vehicles and personnel carriers parked on the sandy shoulder. Is there something going on behind the scenes?
No, they're just taking a rest. Anywhere in California, it's really typical to see a lot of military. There's so much military. You've got Camp Pendleton. You've got everything.
Christine wants to know if her cholesterol is going down.
Okay. Jesus said it has come down some. You're doing a good job, but you need to work a little bit harder on what you're eating.
Marcus says, will SpaceX Starship make orbit in 2024? Good question.
No.
Probably won't. Okay. Richard Mole just died. I thought it was a while back. Yeah, he was bull on Night Court. Rick Norman says Mandela himself died in prison. I remember it well. Then he died again in 2013, and I never questioned him still being alive. Why didn't I? Well, because you don't know. And I do recall the letter H being in Johnny Quest. Okay, interesting.
So what's the question?
I don't know. There's no question.
Okay.
D. Rambo wants to know how many past lives he's had. Or am I a newer soul like a star seed?
And that depends on where you're talking about. 27 on this planet so far.
If Nasara started, then elections must be held within 120 days. Once it's announced, they have to be held in 120 days. That brings March into play, which was the original inauguration day. So 2024 election won't be. Okay, thank you for the information, Steve Temple. Now we get into the questions we get every week. If the RV is coming soon, how will my long-term house guest soon find her own home where she will be content?
She will if you set her up in one. Yeah. You're going to have to do it.
Nico Lockey, hey, Jen, will the Actors Union accept the producer's contract?
They will, but there will be a delay on hearing any kind of progress on starting funding. But they will.
Okay. Sarah Horn. Jen, are we going to purchase the house we are currently renting?
No.
Okay. You can do better than that. Let's slide back over to Rumble. Any other questions? Patton. Patton JOA. Is this Joanne? Oh, Joanne. Jen, will the condo in Pismo I showed the condo in Pismo I showed you is pending sale. Will it fall through and will I be able to purchase it? Pismo Beach.
It will fall through.
And Dave Murta says, Mike, look it up. It says Jaws' girlfriend in Moonraker did not have braces. I've seen that movie many, many times, and she did have braces. This is funny because that was in the Y-Files when I wrote the script for Solar Warden. That was one of the things that came up. He did a bit, and it shows now that she doesn't have braces, but everybody thinks she had braces because that was the joke. Jaws was this guy with these metal teeth, and he, he's rampaging around, and he looks down and he sees this pretty little geeky girl, and he smiles, and he's got these metal teeth, and then she smiles and she has braces, and everybody thought that was hilarious, but they're saying she didn't have braces. So, I don't know. That's an example of a Mandela effect.
I hate this camera. Every time I move, it goes.
Yeah, it flares up. All right, guys, that is going to wrap it up for Monday. Big Jentel download. Let's see what happens this week. A lot of people are saying it's going to be a fascinating, interesting, exciting week.
Especially Wednesday.
Shall see. Especially Wednesday? You think Wednesday?
Yeah, I just got to hit on Wednesday. I was looking forward.
Great. We'll be on the air on Wednesday. Wouldn't it be great if something really big, exciting happened while we were on the air?
As far as watching what's happening, yeah. I just kind of got like an exciting, pang about Wednesday.
Okay. And another thing is, guys, thanks for being here. Everything will be great. Jen and I will be back for Tell the Truth Wednesday on Wednesday. Jen, I picked up my Costco $13, and it was still $13, turkey breast for Thanksgiving.
I went yesterday, and they had no turkeys yet. And I said, when are you going to eat your turkeys? Thanksgiving's early this year. And they're like, next Friday. And I'm like,
wow, I'd go to a different Costco because there was a bunch of turkey. Well, I just get the breasts. I don't get the whole turkey, but starting to get all the ingredients ready.
A big turkey. Remember when you used to be able to get a 25-pound turkey, ladies? And then it went down to 18 pounds, and then that was 15 pounds. And I went to the grocery store; they were all 12. I'm like, why don't I just what are we gonna have, like Cornish game hens soon?
They're giving you less turkey and charging you more.
Get a fat turkey. If it's long, it's all leg. I'm just telling you. It's things I've learned.
If it's long, it's all leg.
It is.
All right. Love you guys. Thanks for being here. Thank you to all the new subscribers over on Rumble for $5 a month. And we got 4 or 5 of them today. And the Rumble Rants, Layla and the other folks. Thank you very much, guys. We love you. Looks like it's going to be a big, exciting week. Everybody's saying so. Let's wait and see what happens. We love you. And Jen and I will be back and see you on Wednesday. Have a great couple of days, Monday to Tuesday. And that's all I got to say.